way back. Keep on calling my name, I'll come to yours. Every back and every win, I'm the one. Scratch the itches on yours. I keep falling every time with you. There's nothing more I can do. One step look into your eyes, girl, you got me hypnotized. You keep the leash under your belt. There's hardly anything left unsaid. Once you get the look that's on that sweet little face, keep on calling my name, I'll come to yours. Every break and every whim, I'm the one. Scratch the itches on yours. I keep falling every time for you. There's nothing more I can do.
All right, here on Guitar Talk, productions by G, here in the studios in Dayton, Ohio, and we're going to do some tackle some Rush here today. Going to get into, as you can see here on the wall, the first song we're going to do is a title track off of that, which would be Fly By Night. And what we're going to do is I'll break it down into sections for you. We'll do the verses, chorus, try to tackle the solo, and go from there. So let's start off with the intro. Get the volume up here. And again, he didn't use a lot of distortion on this. So if you want to, and again, live he did use, does put a lot of distortion into it a little bit. And with this guitar, he did use the hollow body, semi-hollow body on a lot of the early stuff. Straight Marshalls and high watts. So just you plug right in. You had some chorus and some delays and things like that. So let's get into the first one here. Basically, it's a D, and let's get into that. And you want to hit that D, and again, you want to drag it all the way across to the high E and get that extra oomph on that high E. So you have to, and kill your, you want to kill your notes, get it good and tight in between. Then you want to walk down. And again, as I've said, I've seen a lot of people play this and they tend to do it wrong. And they want to walk down, and that's not the way it's done. And again, he did, like I said, he always would do something that wasn't the obvious. So you want to remember that when you listen to Rush or you're working on drums, guitar, whichever it is. They strayed away from the obvious and tried to walk around that, and that's what made them unique. So. And then you walk your with this down. Now at this point, you get the open A first, and then go up to your A sharp. So you got. Now that part there was he basically throws that G in real quick. And that's another one that, I've watched people do and they seem to miss that, is the, because it can be quite difficult to go between those two. And again, you can play it this way or you can play it this way. He pretty much does that again through the whole, all the verses. That's pretty much the chords and the grips and positions that he's doing. pretty much like that. So we'll do the chorus. Coming up on that, pretty standard. It's you got your G and D, fly by night. When he says that, that's pretty much what he's doing. And he does the G again. So it's fly by night, play from here. The tricky part coming up is a lot of people tend to leave that out, or they try to play it there. And again, I've studied all of his videos, and he does play it here. And what he does there is a high E and B on the 15, and then your open G. So it's, and that's pretty much all it is. Then he goes, Change My Life Again is, and that's that tricky little G note that you got to work in. Change My Life Again. So you got to kind of work those two together. So let's do both those parts together. Again, this can be a little tricky to do, you know, getting them together. But he does do that, and I've watched, again, I've studied his videos for years and years and years, and that's pretty much what he's doing. And again, if you want to do the studio version, it's, you know, it's quite clean. The guitars, there's not a lot of distortion in it, but live he does pile it on. So here's the chorus again. Again, we'll do that. And again, that's the chorus, first part of it. And he kind of, you know, slides down. So you get them two notes working back and forth there on that second part of the chorus. Maybe Ship Isn't Coming. And that part again is the same as the other part. Ship isn't coming, just can't pretend. So let's run through the whole chorus into that part. So there you go. And before we jump on the solo, let's go ahead and review the from the beginning. Here's your intro. And if you missed it, this note is just G, and then you got your D on the second fret. Of course, you want to kill the bottom two. We're not using those yet. Here we go. Then we got the solo. And again, as I said, I've studied tons of videos of him. He does stray off of this solo. He can be a little sporadic live. He jumps around. Sometimes he'll switch his solos around. Limelight and a couple other ones he stays pretty strict to the original recording. Limelight being probably one of his personal favorites and one of mine as well. And again, a lot of these songs he does stray away from the original. I tried to do kind of a mixture of the studio version and the version I saw them do on the R30 tour. So So we'll come out of the walk down and go into the first part of the solo. What you basically got's the 9th fret on your G. That's pretty much how he starts it out. He's pretty heavy on vibrato sometimes. Another thing about him, he uses a lot of these pinch harmonics a lot, especially on this one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there's your first part of your solo. Pretty much that. He ends it with that open D. And again, there's different ways you can do that. That's the basics of it. So sometimes he'll do, with this, he'll do the and then do this. Sometimes he won't do. He'll just go down. So just however you feel comfortable doing it. I think on the studio version he does do this. So it's so there's your first part. We'll do that again slowly. And then heavy on the vibrato. He's pretty heavy on the vibrato sometimes. So let's do that up to speed. And we'll do it again. We'll slow it down again for you. And that's not an overbend yet. He does a lot of overbends, which are really cool. Jimmy Page did them a lot. But yeah, Alex does a lot of overbending, which they're really cool when you do them correctly and in the right spot. So here we go. Here's the opening of the solo again. I've seen sometimes where he'll do the opening, and he'll do a pinch harmonic with it too. On the studio recording, you don't do it. So again. So there's the first part of your solo. If you're the only guitar player in the band and you are doing Rush, it's, you know, the hardest part of doing that will be coming out of this and getting right back up to the lead. Unless you've played it enough like I have where it's not that difficult, but if you haven't done it, it can be a little challenging to get out of that real quick and get up to your lead. So there's the first part of the lead. Let's go to the second part. So there's the next part. He starts off the second part again with the same bend again. Then he comes up to the B and the E on the 10 and 12. Now that note is essential. He does pinch harmonic that one. So there's the second part of your lead. So it's there's the first two parts of your lead. Let's go ahead and put them together. Here's the first and second part together. And again, you want to get that harmonic there. So let's do them again. And again, the original recording, there's not a lot of distortion, so he kind of lays off of that. So here we go again. just kind of doing that little. So, and then here comes his overbend, which is the cool part of, I think, the really cool part of the solo. So it's a little bit of an overbend. So and he goes back to that. So let's put all three of those parts together now. From the beginning, coming out of the rhythm. Practice coming out of the rhythm. Going into it if you're the only guitar player, because you want to keep that fullness going. So. Next part I'm coming up, and he's back on the basically in that little scale in the 10th and 12th fret. And he ends the solo with the open D and A, which isn't the obvious thing to do, but again, he never did the obvious, and that's what they were notorious for. So we'll take it from the third section of the. So there's your solo. Let's go ahead and we'll pull that back up to speed and play through it. Coming out of the rhythm, again, if you're the only guitar player, if you're playing. And then you go back in the chorus at that point. And then let's review the solo one more time. If you're playing along or watching it or trying to catch a little something on there, out of the rhythm. There's your solo. Coming out of the chorus, we'll get into the bridge in the middle now. And you want to back off the distortion a little bit on the bridge here. Where he says, find what I'm after, it's changing every day. That's this part. And again, these two chords here are not with the B. You do not want to put that B in there with it. So it's, and I've watched all the videos, watched tons of footage of him, and this is how he plays it. He does tend to use a little chorus on this part and cleans it up. So. So there's your part. D, and an F, and then a G. And those are basically just your, like a long A chord that you would do, just stretched out. Again, no B on these, so it's. Enough of a reason, the vocal there is A minor. F minor, G. And here's the part a lot of people miss. If you go from the A minor, try to get away. He throws that extra, the G up here. A lot of people just do it there and let it go, but he does throw that extra in there. So it's F, G. Back to the chorus. And that's the end of your song. If you're not accustomed to doing rush or some of the fingerings on that, it will take a little bit of work, but it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, they're pretty standard notes. He doesn't stray away like he does on the one I'm going to be coming up with next, where he does a lot of odd fingerings and things like that. So I hope you learned from that one, and we're going to take a 5G. Yeah, we're going to go on a short break, and we'll come back with a second rush song for you. right, welcome back. Part 2 of Guitar Talk here, and we're gonna give a big shout out to John Berger. He's tuning in today. Appreciate that. And Tim Eggleston down in Florida. He's got a big Super Bowl party going, and he's they tuned in a little bit, and I appreciate that. And we'll go ahead and tell you that Tim's got a show down there on Rock Slam Radio called the Ozonia Show. If you want to check that out, I've watched a few of those actually, and me and Tim go way back. We've wrote a lot of material, done a lot of shows, a lot of good stuff with Tim. So check that out. And anybody else that's tuning in, I appreciate you watching. And we're going to get into the second Rush song, as you can see behind me here, off of the Hemispheres album. And anything off of this album is quite difficult. If you're a hardcore Alex Lifeson fan like myself, Rush fan altogether, you really appreciate the work, you know, that was put into some of the pieces on this album. I remember hearing it, you know, for the first time when I was, you know, I really discovered Rush when Moving Pictures came out, and then once I got that, I went way back and got back into it. So I'd say right out of high school, and just when you hear it, you're just blown away. The lyrics, you know. We're going to check out Circumstances by Rush. This one can be a bear, especially if you're a bass player trying to sing it. If you're familiar with the song, you know what I'm talking about. It's quite difficult. It's just one of my favorite songs of theirs. It's just something about it. The lyrics, you know, half the lyrics on the chorus are French, so it's amazing. So we'll go ahead and discuss what was used on the, you know, to get the sounds real quick. He did use again, the Semel hollow body, very similar to this one. The Gibson, I think it was an ES335 with I think some of his did have the tremolo. This one don't. This is the Epiphone version. It's very similar to the actual Gibson. It plays the same. It sounds great. It's got a great tone. So out of respect for Alex, we'll go ahead and try to use that same guitar and try to pull this along. Song starts out, and again, basically he was using straight into the Marshalls, straight into the high watts back in the day. So this is pretty much straight sound until he gets to the keyboard break in the middle, and there's some throws a little chorus on it. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just show you the parts, you know. And I've studied the videos on this one all my life, you know, that I was able to find them. And these pretty much the way I'm doing is how he's playing it. A lot of people have discussions about, you know, did he play that A minor there, did he play it there? On this one, he does play the positionings out the bottom on the intro. So starts out with pretty standard. So G and D. Comes in again with that little riff on the A string, which is your third second, and your G on the third fret on the E. So let's review that again. That I hit a bad note there. So. The whole band comes in with basically with the beat on this part. And then that's your intro. And then the lyrics come in here, and what he goes to here is like an F chord, F sharp bass, but it's actually a B note. So you got, and pretty much during this, he's pretty straightforward. He's chunking on it, you know, hitting it pretty hard. So starts out, the lyrics start out, if you're familiar with the song, it's a boy alone. So you got Then he goes to a D, and then he adds in the B on the 7th fret. And does that F sharp with the open E and B. So it's foil on. So there's your first part. So let's do the intro and go into maybe one round of the verse. That might have been long. And your lyrics come in here. G, D, A, D, F sharp with that. So right there, he comes in. With the open B and E, go up a half step, full chord then. Then back to the A, full chord. So and then he goes into it just a D. It's a bar chord D with a little touch of an open B string. And then this note here, which is a D sharp, so you get your A6, D7, G8. So you come out of just your basic bar chord E here. And then you got that big lick coming up, which is, I'll show you that one too, which is quite difficult till you get the positioning of it. So you got, start out with, again, where the first words come in. Up a little bit, but there's your lick. And there's that lick right there, right before the chorus. So you got all the same, we take our chances, that's the chorus. Tricked by circumstances. The more this day is the same. So there's your part there. So let's go out of the verse and then go right into that lick. That's the hardest part, is getting out of them chords and jumping right into that real quick lick they do there. So there's that lick there. Let's break that lick down. That is accurate. I've checked it. It's right on the money. So you got her A and then a 7th fret on the D. That's the first two notes. I've seen people do it here. If that works for you, that's fine, but I've seen Alex do it tons of times. He just hits the open A. It's simple. So there's your first notes. And then your A string, 5 and 7. D string, 5. So there's your first part. there's your next note. Then you got your F sharp here, and then D, C. There's your next three notes. I'll slow it down just a little bit more in case if you're following along. So there's your first part. So there's the first part of that lick. That's probably the hardest part of that song, is that lick they do together. And the bass pretty much follows it dead nuts on. If you listen to the recording and study it like I have, the last time they do that, it sounds like there's an octaver on the guitar for a second, but it could just be a one-time glitch that happened. But it sounds like there's an octave on that low E for a second, but it could be just me. So there's your complete lick, and let's go ahead and review it. So if you're following along, here we go again, slow. I like to do the fingering that way because the next part coming up, you can just take your hand back instead of jumbling your hands up together and making a mess there. The next part is on the D string, 5 and 2nd fret. That's it. So the next part is your A on 3 and 5. So it's there's that lick right there. So if you want to follow that second part of that lick. So there's that part. So you got an F, C, B, G, A. So it's so there's your whole lick. So let's come out of the last part of the verse into that licks. Complete chord, D, half step, open D so you can touch. So there's your lick. And once you get that down, the rest of the song is, there's a couple of breaks. All the same. The chorus is basically all the same. Take your chances. Now we go to the break in the middle. This is where he does a little keyboard solo. You want to back the volume off and add some chorus if you've got it. This first note is a C with an open G. And open G is important on this part because he hits it pretty hard. So it's so you're basically doing the bar chord and throwing in the extra note with the pinky. You want to hit that open G pretty hard. And when he hits this note, with the timing of it, he goes up pretty quick. So it's not, it's a subtle difference, but that's how it's done. So he's basically just moving that chord up between the 8th, 10th, and 12th fret. And you basically got a C, a D suspended 4, and another C. So you get. And again, this is where he does that little keyboard solo, and there's a little xylophone thing going right there. So. He does it about 6 times right there, I think. Here's how he does it. And we'll do it one more time, then he brings the volume big time. So it's, this note is just an A. You want to kill the G string and ring open that B on these notes. That's pretty much a keyboard break right there. Again, it's he jumps between the C, the D suspended, back to the C, and then the C. Very important. As soon as you get that G, get up to that next note. It's not, so you don't want to do it this way. It's such a subtle difference, but it makes a difference on the timing with the drums. So doing the lick. So it goes right out of that break, into that lick. So you get, that's probably my favorite part of the song is the lick and the little keyboard solo. I love the chordings that he used on that. He's always been good at playing a lot of open chords and finding those notes that are, just fabulous notes. He's got a lot of notes you hear that he used a lot, which are just staples of their sound, which on Xanadu and a bunch of other songs he used this one quite a bit. He used it on Hemispheres. I know one he uses is this one, Spirit Radio, and you can hear it. I'm going to review some more Rush songs coming up, being it's my favorite. So, in some future shows. So let's go out of. Your intro. First verse. Next part. There's going into the chorus. I won't attempt to sing that, by the way. That's way up there. Into the keyboard part, where the keyboard solo is, back the volume down, kick the chorus on. about 8 times, 6 times. Back the volume up. Back the lid. And then go lick. So there you go. There's our lesson on 2 Rush songs today. Those are just 2 of my favorites. Again, it's pretty straightforward. You got just a good raw tubey guitar sound with a couple effects here and there. I can show you real quick. We'll review them chords real quick if you're wanting to check it out. When the lyrics first come in, so it's again it's a B with an F sharp bass to it. So you got and a G and a B. And you want to get that extra pinky in there on that B. That's important. And that classic chord he uses all the time, the F sharp. Next part with the open strings, up a half step, full chord, A full chord, B, half step up. And again, that note is D on the 6th, A on the 6th, D on the 7th, and G on the 8th. And there's your lick. Well, before we go, let's go ahead and do that lick again. A, open A, 7th fret on the D. That lick can be a little tricky if you haven't done it before and you're really wanting to crack on it. It tends to it'll try to bundle you up. But I've known this song for a long time, so it's kind of comes pretty good to me. I mean, it's easy to mess that up because if you hit one wrong note in that lick, you lose your positioning. So really study that and get that tight. So. So there you go. So there's your Rush from Guitar Talk today. I hope you learned something from it and it worked for you and helped you out if you're working on them. And I would ask you to watch. We got some shows on Productions by G. We got On Cue with Susie on Thursdays. And then we've got Pounding the Pavement with Pep on Tuesdays from Bojangles up here in Dayton. And a lot of good stuff happening here. We got some new visuals coming up you're going to like. A lot of good happening stuff. So again, a plug to Tim and all the guys watching in Florida. If you're watching, I appreciate it, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to end today's show. So appreciate you watching, and enjoy your game today.
Some Jason?
Yeah. Leave with some Jason Cheek music. See you guys.